The process of designing and planning museum exhibits is not always smooth sailing. It is common for curators and organizations to run into a variety of issues. Sometimes these issues can snowball, causing anger and detriment among certain groups and stakeholders. This video expands on two examples, which delve into issues of ethics and objectivity: the Enola Gay exhibit and the Tang shipwreck exhibit. The Enola Gay is a bomber that dropped the atomic bomb Little Boy on the city of Hiroshima, Japan during the final stages of World War II. To commemorate the 50th anniversary of the end of the war, the National Air and Space Museum (NASM) of the Smithsonian Institution sought to exhibit the Enola Gay and hired Martin Howitt as director. Howitt and his curators desired the museum to provide a balanced look and narratives at the bombings, intending to include graphic photos and recollections from victims, as well as loaned artifacts from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. As said by Howitt, deliver an accurate portrayal that conveys the reality of the atomic war and its consequences. However, this decision was met with a lot of criticism, including from NASM, war veterans, military groups, and journalists. The planned exhibit was called to be a depiction of vengeful Americans and an attempt to garner sympathy for the Japanese. Other critics included arguing that it was not objective, that it neglected Japanese aggression and wartime atrocities, and it was offensive to the veterans and a form of revisionist history. Howitt sought to revise the exhibit after much backlash, and this resulted in a smaller section that focused on the fallout from the bombing, but a wider section on Japanese wartime atrocities. This in turn angered the Japanese media and other groups who saw this as an act of historical cleansing and an attempt to write patriotically correct history. Ultimately, the exhibition was replaced with a simplified display of only the fuselage of the Enola Gay that did not delve into historical context, and Howitt also resigned. In 1998, local fishermen discovered a wreck of an Indian Ocean-style vessel filled with Tang dynasty ceramics near Indonesia's Belitung Islands. Concerned about potential looting, the Indonesian government turned to a commercial salvaging company to excavate the site. Under UNESCO 2001 Convention on the Protection of Underwater Cultural Heritage, excavation via commercial salvage is seen as unscientific and is condemned. But Indonesia does not recognize this, and thus the salvage was legal under Indonesian law. The project was led by Tillman Waterfowl. The collection was eventually sold and acquired by the Sentosa Leisure Group in Singapore, which was then exhibited in the Asian Civilizations Museum (ACM). In 2009, ACM sought to work together with the Smithsonian Institution to exhibit the shipwreck. But this decision sparked numerous criticisms. Mainly, archaeologists were critical of Waterfowl, who they deemed had not been trained in Western standards of archaeology. Therefore, holding the exhibit would mean that the Smithsonian would be condoning unscientific commercial excavation, thus violating various organizational ethic guidelines. Other issues brought up included the fact that the salvage operation itself was riddled with problems. For instance, some ceramic fragments were deemed to not be of commercial value by salvagers and thrown back into the sea, with numerous artifacts not being adequately documented. In addition, improper care of the wreckage post-salvage resulted in looters destroying the ship's hull in search of gold. In the end, the Smithsonian proposed a re-excavation of the site to the Republic of Indonesia, but a planned exhibition between ACM and the Smithsonian was cancelled. This decision caused disappointment and anger in both Singapore and Indonesia. As of 2023, the Tang shipwreck remains on display in ACM. As we have shown through the Enola Gay and Tang shipwreck displays, museums face various challenges in curating and showcasing their collections. With that in mind, we are interested to hear your opinion on the controversies surrounding museum exhibits.